And I mean, I took the vax, and I haven't been boosted or anything, but the moment where I really started to get red pilled on the whole vax thing was the sickest that I've been in the last 15 years by far was when I took the vaccine. And I've had COVID at this point 5 times. I was in bed for 2 days. My heart was racing. I was like, the fact that we're not even allowed to talk about that, even, I no like serious injury, but even the fact that we're not even allowed to talk about the fact that I was as sick as I've ever been for 2 days, and the worst COVID experience I had was like a sinus infection. I'm not really willing to trade that. And you don't even, everybody that I know, or a lot of people I know, they talk about the second shot that they got of the vaccine that made them really, really sick. Well, that's a side effect, and not a side effect that we even talk about enough in this country.
No, it's also, again, we're talking about companies that have a long history of lying and being forced to pay criminal fines, and then we're giving them this exemption from being responsible for any of the side effects.
Some kind of way out of here. Sell the drug, come to the thief. There's too much confusion. I can't get no relief. This is not the common dream of mine. That man come in and leave my earth. Oh, wasn't on the line. Nobody's heard. Oh, yeah. It's another place, so let us not speak loosely now. Eagles getting paid.
All along the watchtower. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. We are back. Welcome, everybody, to Real Deal Media's What Say You, a very special show where we focus on you, the viewer, your comments, questions, concerns, and conjecture. Be your What Say You host here, Dean Ryan, the one, the only. Yes, I am. And we have quite the show here, but riding with me on this Delta Airlines edition is my co-pilot, someone who takes the wheel. I've had a little bit too much at the airport bar. My co-pilot, the one, the only, Toronto's favorite son, Aaron Cates. Aaron, welcome. Welcome.
Good evening. Good evening, ladies and gents. Good evening, Dean. Like I said to you before the show, Dean, I love the pick. And if I was working at the airport, I would say, can I grab your bag, sir? And we had a good laugh before, so I thought that was pretty brilliant.
Yes,
can I grab your bag?
Yes, it was okay the first time. The second time it is all right. Yeah, there it is. We're going to be getting into the Delta situation. And, a lot of airplanes seem to be falling down from the skies. We just did a World at War just the other night in this transitional phase here about more airplanes, which we're going to touch upon. Also, we're going to get into everything Delta and some other Canadian things with Patrick King, who used to work here, which he's in the news. So there's a lot to get into, plus a lot of people's questions and comments, concerns. But Aaron, just to tease it real quick, why this is the Delta Airlines edition is you were just at the Toronto International Airport, were you not?
I was, yes. I was. Let me tell you the story. So Tuesday morning, I had plans to leave and head to the United States, and we got to the airport. And considering there was a major tragedy on Monday, airport was full. There was lots of cancellations, a lot of chaotic things going on. But as chaotic and all the cancellations, bad weather, everything, I thought the airport had it pretty good. I had all the plans and intentions to once I get through, get my tickets and go through security. I was actually going to plan to maybe do some interviews, get some videos or pictures, and try to see if I can get any footage and do my usual inspecting. But we got to the airport, and our tickets, for some reason, wasn't registered in the system, even though we had the itinerary. So we had
you should have been on that plane. You think you might have been on that plane?
No,
you might have been on that plane.
That was coming in from Minnesota, but we're going. That was coming into Toronto from Minnesota.
Right.
Thank God we were next day, and so many crazy things happening. But basically, I just had the chance to see what's going on at the airport, and considering a major incident, the airport was jammed. People wanted to fly to their destinations, and give credit to all the staff for getting everybody out. I believe there was like 20 people who were injured. 3 are still in hospital. But it was crazy scene, crazy time. It's not something that's normal, these days.
Well, let's just get into it here. Here's just right off the bat, a comment from Gwyneth Davis all the way down in New Zealand. Thank you, Gwyneth, for being here.
Welcome.
Which by the way, we're broadcasting live on the Real Deal Run over there on Facebook. Hopefully you can see us. They hide every damn show we do now. We're also on the Real Deal Media official channel over there on YouTube, who just loves us. And then, of course, Rumble. But right off the bat, here we have Gwyneth Davis saying the following. Hi, Dean from New Zealand. I am sick to the stomach, as in the last week our government has declared they are going to have, a lab in our country that is going to be dealing with live viruses. What could possibly go wrong? They're also fast-tracking the law to let GMO foods expand. New Zealand should be a total GMO-free country. That should also have nothing to do with carbon credit money marking bullshit list Putin banned. Yeah, see, that's the thing is it's always been New Zealand than the rest of the Commonwealth, because New Zealand's just a small country with like 2 to 3 million people, and their government's completely hijacked by globalists. It is disgusting. Sorry you have to go through that, Gwyneth. How can we help you? How can we help one of our just beautiful viewers out there? Email us. I don't want to see anything bad happen to Gwyneth at all. Okay, so email us at info@realdealmedia.tv. Okay, so there you go. Right off the bat, so people are just feeling the pain of it all. Well, Aaron, you know who else is feeling the pain, Aaron?
Go have to guess.
Well, anyway, Zelensky. Zelensky is feeling the pain, which when
time.
Dean Ryan and Aaron Kate, they feel joy. And so, as you know, Aaron, the Trump is having peace talks with Russia in Moscow over there. And Zelensky, Ukraine's favorite drag queen, was not invited to sit at the big boy table. He is not happy about that.
I'm really sorry to hear that.
Now they're trading barbs in the media. He's now calling and alluding to Trump as a Russian puppet. Where have we heard this before? Let's get your take on this, Aaron. Let's check this out. And then I'll give you the most updated statements from Donald Trump. Check this out.
That Russia wants to force Ukraine to hold new elections in order to sign any kind of a peace deal. Is that something that the U.S. would ever support?
Well, we have a situation where we haven't had elections in Ukraine, where we have martial law, essentially martial law in Ukraine, where the leader in Ukraine, I mean, I hate to say it, but he's down at 4% approval rating, and where a country has been blown to smithereens. You got most of the cities are laying on their sides. The buildings are collapsed. It looks like a massive demolition site. The whole, I mean, so many of the cities. I mean, they haven't done it in Kiev because I guess they don't want to shoot too many rockets in there. They've done it 20%, but they haven't done it 100%. If they wanted to do it 100%, it would probably happen very quickly. But you have cities that are absolutely decimated. And yeah, I would say that, you know, when they want a seat at the table, you could say the people have to, wouldn't the people of Ukraine have to say, like, you know, it's been a long time since we've had an election. That's not a Russia thing. That's something coming from me and coming from many other countries also.
There are many views on what's happening. I never comment on popularity ratings, especially my own or other leaders. It shows that there is some political competition and elections, but we don't have it. I look at this, but I don't comment officially. But since such are the times, we will seize the initiative, I will say that. We have 58% confidence in me. I have seen this in various opinion surveys. So anyone wants to replace me right now, that won't work. Another story, since we're talking about percentages, we are seeing a lot of disinformation, and it's coming from Russia. We understand this, and we have proof that these figures are being discussed between America and Russia. Unfortunately, President Trump, with all due respect for him as the leader of a nation that we respect greatly, the American people, is living in this disinformation space. And the question is not support for me, but what is important, the ratings we are focused on.
It's so emotional. Aaron, let's talk about it because I think this is a major win. What say you on it, and what say you out there? Because Zelensky, to me, Aaron, he looks scared, fearful that he's not being involved in any of these talks. And Trump's basically calling him out as a dictator. 4% approval? Are you kidding me? I think we've reached the bottom of the barrel, don't you?
I think it's great that they had the discussions in Saudi Arabia, the place where nothing really leaks out there. If you get leaked out, you're toast. You're toast on a stick, basically. So great place for a meeting. I thought that was very nice. And I remember Lavrov, the foreign minister of Russia, he was very happy with the meeting, the way it went. Rubio said it was a success. So something positive is happening here. Now, you have to ask yourself, why do they want to continue with the war? Why don't they want to try to stop it? Europe doesn't want to stop it. You know, they want to keep the gravy train running, and they know that the time is coming, that the money vault is being shut off. And, you know, when you shut the funding, that really slows down a war. You can't produce your tanks, your fighters, your soldiers. You can't pay them. So
yeah, they can't. They can't pay the soldiers. The million dead. You're talking about money laundering. Now, here's the most updated account here, and here's some other comments here on Rumble. We have Lies That Bind saying the following: Zelensky is a washed-up actor. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. And I even think Ronald Reagan was a better actor than him. Just to put it. We also have, don't forget, Zelensky was offering the spirit cooker as an ambassador for schools. I did not know that. Okay, we have a caller. Leo, hold on one second, Leo. Leo's going to call in here. Awesome. Here's the most updated message from Donald Trump as of hours ago. Check this out here. It says the following. Think of it, quote, think of it, modestly successful comedian Blowhard Zelensky talked to the United States of America into spending $350 billion to go into war that couldn't be won, that never had to start, but the war that he, without the U.S. and Trump, will never be able to settle. The United States has spent $200 billion more than Europe, and Europe's money is guaranteed while the United States will get nothing back. Why didn't sleepy Joe Biden demand equalization, in that this war is far more important to Europe than it is to us? We have a big, beautiful ocean as separation. On top of this, Zelensky admits that half of the elections is very low in Ukrainian polls, and the only thing he was good at was playing Biden like a fiddle. A dictator without elections, Zelensky better move fast. or he's not going to have a country left. In the meantime, we are successfully negotiating an end to the war with Russia, something all admit only Trump and the Trump administration can do. Biden never tried. Europe has failed to bring peace, and Zelensky probably wants to keep the gravy train going. I love the Ukraine, but Zelensky has done a terrible job. His country is shattered, and millions have unnecessarily died. And so it continues. Whew.
Well, Zelensky has a beautiful mansion in Miami Beach, I believe, $40 million mansion. He's got 3 private jets, how many cars, and I think a chateau in Switzerland. So, I mean, keep the gravy train. Why would you want it to stop?
Exactly. We have Mouth of the South calling in, who has a point of view on this, and that was a hell of a statement. I think I need a cigarette after that one, and I don't even smoke. Okay, let's get Leo. Thanks for calling in, Leo. Leo, that was. I'm sweating after that one, Leo. I burnt some calories just reading that.
Well, Zelensky will be swing dancing from a tree off a hemp rope very soon in Moscow. Okay, and with the stars.
There's gonna be a lot of crows there and birds.
Yeah, you'll be with the stars, of course. Swing dancing with the stars.
Yeah,
dancing with the stars.
And you know what? Over here in Canada, it is mind-boggling right now, man. When you got a resigned prime minister who's encouraging the booing of the U.S. national anthem, okay, upon the people at a hockey game, okay. I've never heard of anything like this in my life, and we're on the verge now of having an unelected official, okay, who's never even been elected to the lunchroom at the high school, okay, who's going to be the prime minister shoot into Canada. It's a de facto government. It's Banana Republic, and they're going to drive people. Well, who's going to be the hero? That's what I'm asking. Who's going to be the hero on the grassy knoll in Canada? Because that's what's going to happen.
Well, speaking of that, I'm glad you bring that up. I think the hero in this equation is Donald Trump, and I think that he's speaking for the voiceless people in the Ukraine who are saying, yeah, we have martial law. They're stealing our sons and daughters, forcing them to fight in a war we don't have a choice but to be in, or they put them in the gulags. I think, if anything, Donald Trump is sticking up for the people of Ukraine, if you ask me. And that's why Putin is smiling from ear to ear. It's clear as day. And the conniption fit in the so-called American and European media, it is so awful, but it's good.
Yeah. The fact that they're speaking up, I love that they're crying in the middle of a speech after JD Vance. I mean, England was talking about sending troops. Keir Starmer was talking about sending troops. Europe's talking about sending troops to Ukraine. And they're like, forget about the United States. How can you forget about the United States, who spent the most money out of all of the countries involved? It just is not adding up. And they do not like the peace talks. They are scared for peace. Isn't that weird? Scared for peace talks? Why would that be, Leo? Why would someone be scared for peace talks?
And Leo, here is from our friends over there in Rumble, Liza Barton, who's on fire tonight. This is so true. Thank you for this point. The Ukraine has lowered the age of recruitment and also raised the older age of recruitment too. So they lowered it to like 16, and they just, till you're 45, because it's desperation. So I think Trump is the savior in this situation.
Well, it's no different from Adolf Hitler on his last stand. He used the youth, right? Hitler youth, okay, to try and protect what they had left, right? Zelensky's no different from Hitler. What I found was pretty ironic, and I'm very happy about it, is that none of the EU or Zelensky himself were even invited to the peace talks.
Right, yeah.
Justin Trudeau, none of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're pissed.
Yeah, well, it's going to be divide up Ukraine, okay? America's not going to get stiff for $300 billion, period.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not going to happen. Canada's going to get stiffed because we
we already got stiffed.
Yeah, we gave
What's
them
the
a
number?
contingency, what was it, $50 billion or something? A contingency loan.
It was 24 billion, I think. I counted about 24 billion around.
24 billion. Canada is giving 24 billion to Ukraine. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and we're going to get stiffed. It was a contingency loan, probably at 0% interest. Okay, we're not going to get 10 cents back on our money, right? America's going to get paid first.
Money's gone. Yeah. No investment. That money's
and just
gone.
like you said, here's a reminder. We shared this last night, but I think this rings true. That all the European leaders are all gathering together. Here's just a replay of it all.
Top foreign policy team today to Saudi Arabia to begin the most intense negotiations yet to end the war in Ukraine. The talks, which could redraw the map of Ukraine and have major implications for the security of Europe and NATO, begin with the Russian side. Ukraine is not invited. Ukrainian officials tell NBC News that's a troubling sign. There's an old expression in peace talks: if you're not at the table, you're on it. Russian troops currently occupy about 20% of Ukraine's territory in the east and south. Ukrainian officials fear President Trump could carve off those areas and cede them to President Vladimir Putin. European nations are also shut out of the talks. So today they convened a last-minute emergency summit among themselves.
There you have it. They're not invited at all. Leo, before we go to the next segment, how do you think this is going to end for Canada's involvement? Are we going to see more billions of dollars going to Ukraine to fight off Russia?
If they do have the money, it'll be under in the back door, like US aid. Okay, it'll be in the back door, but it's not going to happen. I don't see anything really happening. Like I said, I see blood on the streets, okay, very soon in Canada, and it's going to be caused by Trudeau and the Liberal government and the Conservatives too. They've all played a part in the way Canada's been folded. And you know what? I'm more than welcome to join the United States anytime I want to come. You believe me?
I'm in.
They just come out with a plan for the people, Donald Trump, if that's what you want, and let us know the plan. What's in it for us? What's in it for you?
Leo, I'm glad you brought that up. I said this to Aaron before the show. I said, look at what Indiana, the state of Indiana, is doing. I reported on this last night. They want to acquire a handful of big cities from Illinois who are sick of being tied to Chicago. I mean, you look at Illinois, it's farm town. Lincoln, Peoria, it's all farm town. These people are tired of being taxed to death and being tied to Chicago. So I pose the question, can we see like Montana or Wyoming offering that same kind of acquisition to Alberta, for instance? Do you see that as a possibility? I should ask both of you, Aaron and Leo. What say you on that?
Yeah, well,
I think Indiana is showing how it can be done. Go ahead, Eric.
I do think Alberta might secede. It might take, might leave. People in Alberta are really pissed, and they're like a lot of them are conservative patriots, just like myself and Leo. So I mean, they are tired of being mismanaged. A lot of their money comes from the oil, and it's being spread out through other provinces, not getting much return back. They're getting treated like little children from the Trudeau government. And the way our money is spent around, the U.S. has USAID, Canada has Global Affairs Canada, and they have put all these different programs to transgenders in Afghanistan, $20 million here, $10 million for climate change in Saudi or in South Africa or something. They have all these weird programs. We didn't know this until USAID came out. So the Global Affairs Canada has their own little sort of USAID going on.
Yeah, right. What say, real quick, Leo, what say, do you think an acquisition of like Alberta by Montana or Wyoming, do you think that is a possibility rather than the entire nation?
Well, before we go there, I thought it was a joke, but it's not a joke in that what Aaron's saying is exactly right. But we gave $55 million to study diarrhea in Bangladesh. Okay. I thought it was a joke till I searched it, and it's not a joke, Dean. Okay. Canada did do that. Okay. To acquire Alberta, it'll be easy to acquire Alberta. Ontario, you got a lot of people that are on the fence, but we're a narco state, folks. Okay, we're being run by Chinese triads, like you said. Okay, Chinese triads, narcotics. Okay, we're not a stable country. Donald Trump could come in with just those measures and go to Parliament and take it over. Okay, because we're a narco state, and they could prove it.
Yeah. Same thing with Mexico too. If I might add, it's a narco state. Banking cartels in China is all over it. Here we have Ranger Buck saying the following: Canada is being defunded. They certainly are. And look at Ukraine. Ukraine is given 30% of their farming. They have the richest soil in the world over there in Ukraine. They've already given it to NGOs, Soros-backed groups. globalist storefronts. I mean, it's sickening what's happening to the Ukrainian people. Beautiful people, too.
Yeah,
Very
one of the
beautiful
things that they
people.
don't talk about is the child trafficking that's going on there, the sex
Yes.
trafficking,
That's
organ
coming
harvesting,
next.
and the underground tunnels there. It's a mess there. Every time there's a war and the kids are on the run, they grab the kids and they do what they got to do. And it's every time there's a war.
Absolutely,
Same
Aaron.
thing in Gaza.
And
It's really sad. sad.
absolutely correct. Go ahead, Leo.
What I'm really afraid of here in Canada, okay, is Trudeau, okay, trying to pull Zelensky, okay, and drive us into it wouldn't be a very long battle anyways. We're on the doorsteps of America, and you wouldn't have guys like me and Aaron, and there's a bunch of us that just wouldn't pick up arms to fight for the so-called Canadian flag, okay. The love's gone, okay, a long time ago for me. It's not going to happen. Maybe 30 years ago, yeah, I would have fought against America, but no, the way that we see it today, okay, but you're going to have those people out there that are going to be rebellion, Antifa type.
Absolutely.
Okay, and, you know, I don't want to see that happen, but it's going to happen, okay, and I can see Trudeau doing that, and Mark Carney coming in with the Emergencies Act and locking everybody down like they did with the COVID and everything else, right? And then we're stuck with a de facto government because we can't have an honest election if we're in the middle of a battle, physical battle, right?
Exact. That's what Zelensky's doing, and that's a good point. I don't see Trudeau relinquishing power to a Pierre type. They want to keep it in house. But hey, Leo, thanks for calling in. Call back again.
Leo, thanks. Good to see you, man.
Be safe out there.
Keep commenting on my Facebook, Aaron. That's hilarious.
I know. I am there for you, man. It's my pleasure,
All right.
bro.
Get
into
all right. Thanks, Leo. Okay, there you have it. Well, let's change hats here now. We're going to get into Delta. Now, this just happened today, Aaron. I didn't share this with you. We had another fatal plane crash today in Arizona. This is the second plane crash. Fatal plane crash. Arizona Regional Airport. Small aircraft crashed this morning in the Marana Regional Airport, about 15 miles northwest of Tucson, Arizona, killing one person. The FAA and the NTSB are investigating what officials are calling aircraft collision. Let me just replay for people that 5 years ago, before Tucker Carlson did, he did it 5 weeks after I did. I shared with people that DJI, a Chinese company, has made all the black boxes for all of the drones in the United States that the police precincts use. The majority are from DJI. What happened after that is DJI infiltrated into the United States FAA, the flight administration over there, and all the black boxes in all of our airplanes are managed and ran by DJI. That's China. What we're seeing with all these just planes belling up, it's no coincidence. We're in war, everybody.
Definitely.
This is World War III. And
what did I hear the other day, Dean?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Tell us.
I heard something about all these planes flying, coming out, is that this has to do with wanting to scare us from wanting to travel to different places.
That's right.
And if we don't travel and we get scared and, we stay in the same spot, well, that's what
sinks
15-minute cities are. It's kind of like pre-programming us to be scared. What I was proud, actually, Dean, during COVID, like the Bat Who Loved Us, you go to the airport and Canadians were all masked up for the most part, including myself. I had no idea what was going on. This is the first time, and that's how I got involved. It won't happen ever again. But when I went on Tuesday, so many people, it's almost like nothing happened. People were just eager to get to their destination, trying to figure things out. It was almost like nothing happened. So in a sense, I was proud of Canadians and people at the airport for wanting to continue with their destination, because I can totally see how someone could be very fearful and not want to go on their destination or not want to travel.
Let's get into it, because Aaron brought some things here, and here is a little just newsflash of how it all began, and we're going to get into it with Aaron here because he was just there just the other day. Check this out. As the DEI just didn't stop right here in the United States. It spilled over in many other places.
Leave the second of the world to the men? I don't think so. Live fast, die young, bad girls do it well. Live fast, die young. No, we ain't giving no hoes. I ain't Romeo and no hoes. Making a party, chocolate Barbie, waiting on me.
Harvard Law.
What, like it's hard?
I had to lower the music for copyright purposes.
What is your name as a group?
The Click. Click or click? Click.
Come on! Don't take it now! You're going away! Out of the way! Holy. Oh my f***ing God! Yo, I was just on this plane. Oh my God. Yo, I was just on this plane. Holy fuck.
Yeah. Everyone now they're getting paid $30,000 each. But what do we have here, Aaron? Delta Airlines reaffirmed its commitment to DEI initiatives before the Toronto crash. Part of our focus, unquote. Delta. So that's quite significant, isn't it? Defiance of the highest form.
Here, I gotta do some intel for you, and there's a couple pieces of intel. Awesome. Okay, so 1 week ago, just before the incident, Delta doubles down on its commitment to DEI. Today, that was a couple of days ago, a very bizarre plane crash involved in the Delta jet. Within an hour before the jet fuel is cooled, the media somehow knows to inject DEI into the headlines. The same pattern we saw in DC 2 weeks ago. Within minutes, we have commentary also on how MAGA says DEI caused the crash. None of this happened in a reasonably normal time frame. The speed and coordination alone demonstrate there's a psyop involved here, Dean. That does not mean anyone is saying the crash is fake. Let me be clear, but it does point out the deployment of a narrative control. So what I wanted to also add is that I was watching Viva Fry. He's the Canadian lawyer. He's amazing, like his show. Once in a while, he has some really good intel, and he had a pilot on, I think yesterday. And the pilot, I really learned a lot, actually. And what he was saying is when the plane's coming to a landing, it's got to sort of, you got to hit the flare button, which it pulls the nose of the plane up at a 4-degree angle. So it comes in a little bit slower. And the pilot was saying that it was definitely, he thinks that in his opinion, it was pilot error because the plane just happened to drop too fast where the landing gear couldn't, take the weight of the plane. And that's how it crashed. So he thinks in his opinion that it was I guess a pilot error. Put that back on, Dean. I want to read that also. Okay, so coming back to pilot error. So now I want to read this. So no crosswinds, no ice or snow on the runway. They haven't even mentioned how much experience the pilot and crews have. If you read articles from past crashes, for example, Air France at Pearson in 2005, it mentions the crew experience and credentials. If this turns out to be another cause of DEI, I hope it will change the subjective minds of the people who support the idea, especially for jobs that
on skill,
that are,
right?
Yeah, on the skill. So right now, what we're seeing out of Delta is you're seeing they're, instead of promoting, safety and the best flying, they're kind of going with a narrative of DEI and women pilots and whatever it is that they're doing. But if we continue along the path, the inspector, I think, have pretty much come close to solving the case here. So we won't post her name on it, but the Delta plane crash was piloted by a woman who just got certified by an operator airline that makes a big deal of having female pilots. And we go to the next one there, Dean?
Yeah.
Straight in order, if you can.
Yes. And I mean, as I'm changing this real quick here, I just want to add too, I have, all the years I've flown, I've never seen a female pilot before. So this is all kind of new, a new era, if you will.
Again, I don't really have a problem with the person. I have a problem with the person inexperienced or, just isn't mentally ready for the challenge.
And here we go. Here's the next one. Here.
Yeah, so here we go. We're solving the case here. So this is why Delta Airlines are so quiet. The female first officer was brand new and was issued her ATP license 41 days ago. Since the pilot handling the radio was a male captain, it is only fair to assume that she was in control at the time of the accident. This is just insane. Okay, moving along.
Wow.
There's one more, I think, there.
That is insane. Let me go to this next one here. This is, again, 41 days. Here we go. Here's the next one. This is from the same contact here. Go ahead, Aaron.
Yep. Okay. So I received a tip from Endeavor Air that the first officer just got her license 1 month ago. My source believes that she was in control since ATC recording shows a male managing the radio. So this is basically kind of proving she had 41 days experience. I believe you need to have 1,500 hours. I don't think that is even 1,500 hours. But one thing we know is that for some reason the media is not coming along and saying who are the names of the pilots, who they are. They're really not showing that. It's just conspiracy, DEI, and MAGA is just wrong, and we're just orange man bad. So something's a little bit weird and fishy about this. We really, it seems like we just have a pilot who is a little bit inexperienced. It looked like a pretty smooth landing, and it's probably really hard. I'm not going to blame anybody for landing hard, but if you don't have the experience to knowing you're coming to Toronto, Canada, and there's snow and it's cold, and the conditions have been pretty bad the last couple of days, something's a little bit weird here. And it's also interesting, Dean, I'll note this, that Delta is handing out $30,000 to each passenger very fast. Rather than paying millions of dollars, they don't want a class action lawsuit because they know they're wrong.
And you know what's interesting, too? If you saw the video we played earlier, they were telling the kid to put his phone away. We don't want no camera. And then here is a commercial. Here's a little advert of Delta, which I've always thought Delta always stood for don't ever leave the airport for a reason. Well, here it is.
We're all about it, Delta. It's who we are. This is who we are. This is who we are. This is who we are.
It was a little joke, I guess. But
that was a good one. I was not expecting that. Don't ever leave the airport. Let's get some. Let's get a temperature of what people are saying out there. Okay, we have Curly Mayhew says, not true. There have been female pilots. Yeah, Aaron, not true.
I think, Dean, you made that point that you haven't seen any female pilots.
I was just saying what I think you were thinking. So thank you, Curly. We'll correct Aaron. We'll correct Aaron. We won't let him get away with that. Okay, here's another one. Okay, Rachel Buck says, the Canadian one looked fake. And there were ads about a month ago looking for actors to play actors in airplane crashes.
I heard something about that too, that there was an ad.
Wait a minute.
Actually.
Hold on. Okay.
For something like this.
Okay.
I saw something.
Buck, feel free to call in. And by the way, if you want to call in, join the convo. We'll make sure we don't bite around here.
I was just thinking that we won't bite.
This is crazy. What is it? What are you talking about? Are you saying that the whole plane upside down was fake? That whole video?
I don't know, Dean. There's some.
This is crazy. Tell me.
So this is really insane. I saw something because I always like to read the comments when you read it on Facebook or Rumble and this and that.
That's
and
insane.
Several sources say that there was an ad in the paper for actors for, I don't know if it was for a plane crash or for an accident. Call me conspiracy theorist, but you know that these Antifa guys most of them are all actors. There are actors in crises for shootings.
That just blew my mind. My mind.
They also do crisis for actors for an airplane incident.
Twilight says maybe an FF. Yeah, could be a false
flag.
False, finagler. Michelle Drum says distraction. Michelle, that is the Daily Double. Thank you, Michelle.
Mm-hmm. We're going for gold here.
By the way, anytime anyone says distraction, that's a Daily Double. You're a winner on this show here. Okay, on Rumble we have Tika Boom saying, this is who we are. Yeah, that's the motto. It's crazy, isn't it? We also have Kenny 59B saying the Butling toilet. The planes only need people on takeoff and landing. AI will be flying soon. Kenny, that's the triple Daily Double. That's exactly it. You have the 15-minute cities. You have Uber technologies, they want to get rid of all humans in transportation, not just the service sector. And what a better way to do it? People are going to be afraid to fly. Uber is going to be there with, they're going to have Uber Freight. Now they're going to have Uber Transportation to just fly everybody around. Anybody who's caught driving a car, and by 2030, you're going to be considered an illegal occupant for being human. That is so true. That is so true. Okay. But Aaron, I'm awake now. My mind is totally blown with all these.
Happy to wake you, Dean. I was going to give you a slap, but now I guess get it yourself.
Thanks for being here, Aaron. Just wonderful. Okay, finally, because we have a hard break coming up, and then we're going to get into some other ordeals here. Here we have on Rumble. We have Kenny 59B, who's really going for gold medals tonight. There are people shooting videos in LA showing the houses did not burn. Really? Then we have Maddie Lynn saying flight attendants seem very touchy on the passengers exiting the plane, grabbing their high knees.
Yeah, I heard something about that too.
What?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I am so confused right now. What the hell is going on?
And when someone was grabbing, I don't know what's going on, but craziness.
Okay, and finally here, this is Buck says that's what the drones were about too. They want to turn over air traffic control to AI. This, I can't take it anymore. I can't take it. Aaron, we got to take a break.
Yeah, before we go, I just want to say, when this is all happening in an instant and, your life's on the line, you have no idea what's going to be in the next second, next minute. You're going to take out your phone and start filming this and making sure all these people have had their cell phones out. I don't know about you, Dean, but I'm running for the hills, man. I'm like, God forbid.
Because it could explode. Oh yeah.
God forbid. Like, I don't know, man.
But
who's taking out their
these are kind of Gen Z kind of thinker people. You know what I mean? So, anyways, it's just crazy. Aaron, we got to take a quick break. Hold that thought. We're going to come right back. Okay, you're watching Real Deal Media's What Say You. When we get back, we're going to get into Patrick King, who is the anointed one over there in Canada, who is accredited for starting the convoy, the trucker convoy, which then Real Deal Media, we got punished for it 2 years ago. So we're going to do a major follow-up story with Aaron, who was the co-pilot, I almost said, but the co-host with Patrick King. And we're going to get into just exactly what happened to him and where he's going to go from here. So stand by. You're watching What Say You, a viewer-driven type of show here tonight. We'll be right back after this quick message.
Who knows how long I've loved you? Who knows how long it's been? Will I wait a lonely lifetime? If you want me to, I will. Love you forever and forever. Love you with all my heart. Love you whenever we're together. And even when we're apart, who knows how long I loved you? Who knows how long it's been? Will I wait a lonely lifetime? If you want me to, I will. Love you forever and forever. Love you with all my heart. Love you whenever we're together, even when we're apart. Ooh.
it's your favorite president. I forgive you, Bobby, for being such a loser about the election. It's not your fault you were born with a low IQ. It's not your fault, Bobby. Believe me. Bobby, your favorite president won. Kamala lost. She lost so strongly. You were wrong. You're a loser. You're a total loser. This show sucks. You're going to get low ratings, Bobby. You're going to get low ratings. Look at that. From raging bull to raging nobody. Such a disgrace. You're such a disgrace, Bobby. It's a horror. It's an absolute horror. Kamala is getting drunk somewhere. Unbelievable. Look at this guy. That guy's calling your favorite president a virgin. Can you believe it? Look at that crowd. It's such a horror. It's such a disgrace if you look at it. But we're gonna win. We won big, okay? Look at that. Look at that. Come here, paparazzi. Come here. I love this guy. Look at that. Unbelievable. You want to do a little dance, paparazzi? Come here.
What an encounter that was. What an encounter. Welcome back, everybody, to What Say You. I am still Dean Ryan, who is cruising with you here to midnight and beyond. Tonight's show is brought to you by Real Deal Media members. Yes, that's absolutely correct. Be a player from the Himalayas, be a visionary or debonair, and become a night owl. Go to realdealmedia.tv/membership. And if you're feeling a little blue, a little sick, a little green, well, come get some Ivermectin. Go to www.twc.health/Dean Ryan. Make sure to use promo code Dean Ryan. And thank you in advance to all of those who have donated to Real Deal Go. And all of those who will do in the future, just go to givesendgo.com/Real Deal Go. And a little quick announcement too, tomorrow night as a matinee, but in the late evening, with all of the viewers on Rumble, we will be showing the Hollywood Star Whackers movie starring Randy Quaid, who are the mysterious assassins in Hollywood. You're going to find out. We're going to be showing that for all of you out there on Rumble. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe tonight. Okay, let's come back here with Aaron Cates, Mr. Inspector Aaron Cates. And what a movie this is going to be tomorrow night, Aaron. I can't wait. We watched it with our members. We're going to show it again. It is fantastic.
Awesome. I got to
You don't want to miss that. Yeah, you don't want to miss that. Also, a little update too. Here's some Doge data. Total savings, $55 billion and counting. Number of contracts they've canceled, 1,127 and counting. Two of their size of government figures. Total government headcount and total wages, 2.5 million workers and 211 billion wages. You know, Aaron, I've said this, that I'm not sure America has the debt we think we have. And I would say that for candidates too. This is criminal accounting. Accounting.
Oh, it's so bad. But I heard that they're, with all the savings, that they're going to kind of divide it up, and Americans might be getting a check or some deposit, 5,000 or maybe more. Just
that's what I heard too.
No income taxes. They're talking about no property taxes. I'm talking to Canadians. I'm like, who doesn't want to pay income tax or property? I'm in. Sign me up. I'm sold with I'll still pay income taxes. Get me out of here. I don't want to be, I tell people, either you start learning the Star Spangled Banner or speak Chinese, your choice. I'd rather, I already know the Star Spangled Banner. So.
Yes. Yeah. It's Jose.
Chinese.
Okay, let's get into this here as we're kind of coming down to the wire here. And I have one incredible story regarding, and by the way, what a POS Robert De Niro is, what a total loser is. Trump 3.0 was telling us earlier. I want to get to Patrick King, but I also want to give credit to where credit's due. Is we were telling people we're seeing the effects now, Aaron, and what a contrast between Canada and the U.S. is. Now we have a health director who is now tackling the childhood miracle jab schedule, but also calling out the people of Congress who don't represent you and I, but represent the big pharma manufacturers. And God bless him for doing it. This is Bobby at his finest.
Members of Congress support a bill to fund Ozempic with Medicare at $1,500 a month. Most of these members have taken money from the manufacturer of that product a European company called Novo Nordisk. As everyone knows, once a drug is approved for Medicare, it goes to Medicaid. And there is a push to recommend Ozempic for Americans as young as 6 over a condition, obesity, that is completely preventable and barely even existed 100 years ago. Since 74% of Americans are obese, the cost of all of them, if they take their Ozempic prescriptions, will be $3 trillion a year. This is a drug that has made Novo Nordisk the biggest company in Europe. It's a Danish company, but the Danish government does not recommend it. It recommends a change in diet to treat obesity and exercise. Virtually Novo Nordisk's entire value is based upon its projections of what Ozempic is going to sell to Americans. For half the price of Ozempic, we could purchase regeneratively raised organic agriculture or organic food for every American, 3 meals a day, and gym membership for every obese American. Why are members of Congress doing the bidding of this Danish company instead of standing up for American farmers and children? Because Novo Nordisk is one of the largest funders of medical research, the media and politicians and the medical schools all go along with them.
Yes, could not agree more. We have Curly Q says that Kennedy needs to make mRNA unavailable to all. I think that's going to happen, but they have to prove it in the testing. And this is what Big Pharma doesn't want. They don't want the test. See, right. All this disclosure, all these revelations are going to come through Doge and the testing. This is so huge, Aaron. I feel like jumping off a building. It's just too crazy. Okay,
I hope it trickles into Canada too, man.
Okay. It will. It will. So we're going to transition into a gentleman named Patrick King, who was here at Real Deal Media 3 years ago now. Wow.
22. It's been almost 3 years. Yeah, 3 years actually, Dean. The convoy was just, I think, January 27th or something.
Okay. Aaron came in 21. Aaron came in 21, and then, okay. So anyways, Patrick, he we had our differences or whatever. It doesn't matter anymore. But he skyrocketed when he came to Real Deal Media, and then boom. Next thing you know, the trucker convoy happened. We got penalized. We got stripped of our payment processor here at Real Deal Media with no recourse, no reasoning. Aaron kind of went into, he kind of, lowered his profile a little bit. I mean, it was a very confusing time, Aaron. We want to give your thoughts on that and tell people what happened.
Yeah, we had the Canadian Patriot show, me and Pat King. Remember, I was actually helping him out. I got him on Stu Peters' show. On Stu Peters' show, he had 1.8 million views. I got him some other shows all over the place. So we were friends, and I thought we were buddies, kind of a thing. And we had the Canadian Patriot show, and that thing would have taken off huge, especially during the convoy. But Pat decided to go on his own, which he's more than entitled. I just didn't like the way he handled himself to the last second, left me kind of hanging. But I'm still happy for him in a sense. So the convoy happened. He was doing a convoy around the Ottawa airport, and police happened to arrest him. And he got charged with mischief and all kinds of different sort of phony charges. Nobody died. Nobody got hurt. No damage, no property damage.
Right.
But he already did 6 months in prison. They were threatening to send him to 10 years in jail. But today the sentencing came out. He got 3 months house arrest, and I think he has to do 100 community hours. Or if you put up the thing there, I think, here we go. In addition to time served.
Yeah.
3 month conditional sentence in addition to the time he served for his role in the 2022 convoy. But what I liked is I actually thought the sentencing was very fair for a trial. He did a lot of mischief. Okay, fine. Community service. I think that's going to be great for someone trying to get back into society, kind of a thing. And to have a 3 month house arrest. He already served 6 months on in jail. So it shows to me in a sense that there's a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. Dean, because our trials, our judge and courts right now are so corrupt that the fact that he only got 3 months in the sentence, I thought it was somewhat fair. So I'll take it. I think it's actually success for Canadians today to actually receive a fair sentencing. And I'm happy for Pat that this is going to get over, because he truly is, in a sense, a Canadian hero for like pushing people and for having the guts to actually, stand up for your rights. And again, nobody died, nobody got hurt, just like January 6th, J6ers in prison, hostages.
Yeah. Just like Sandy Hook, too. Let's not forget Sandy. We have some people who are saying the following. We have Rebel Man who says, Pat gives the best bear hugs ever. I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
We also...
I'm sure he'd love to hug Dean right now, too.
I'll take your word for it. Here we have some people on Facebook saying the following. We have Curly. Pat had his own show years ago. Okay. Thank you. Pat still got screwed. All right. 3 months house arrest, 12 months probation. Michelle Drum.
Okay, there. Thanks for clarifying.
Thank you very much. Okay, we have one of that. Rebel Mammoth says Patrick was treated horribly in jail. I bet he was.
That's true.
I bet
he was. Our prison system was a nightmare. Sleeping on cement in the cold. We have
lies that bend. That's why I'm wondering, where are the wings of the plane? Yeah, where were the wings of that airplane? That's a good point.
They came off.
See that
somehow
again? They came off. I don't have the video right offhand, but yeah,
came off and it flipped over. Like it just came off. It's a little bit weird now. The more we discuss it, everything's starting to, like the whole DC thing with the helicopter and going into the plane. Also, I mean,
you're right.
Weird stuff. Really weird stuff.
Oh, Aaron, I forgot about that. God, my mind's being blown. Well, here's something else here. I got because as time here, because something else that was blowing my mind here is now the following. Look at this here. Jean-Michel Regnault. This is supposedly the first lady over there in France on the left, Macron's wife, who people are saying, wait a minute, no, that's not Macron's wife. That's a man, baby. Aaron, are you familiar with this story in this matter?
Go ahead. You want to tell the whole story? You probably know better than I do.
Aaron, I don't. Well, let's just see this because I got to hurl right now. I got to throw up with the story.
We don't want to see
Here
that.
it is. Here it is.
Process this. I've been watching Candace Owens and she's been deep diving into this insane conspiracy about the French president, and it's unreal. So here's the deal. Candace Owens believes, she knows that the French president is married to a trans woman, and not just any trans woman, but his own father. His father. I know that it sounds insane, but this woman has been researching for over a year to prove this. And if you don't feel like watching all the videos, I'm going to break down the 3 major pieces of evidence that she has, but here's the backstory. Emmanuel Macron is the president of France, and his wife is Brigitte. She was allegedly a former school teacher. So here's evidence number 1. So Candace dug up old records and found that there's actually no trace of this woman, no birth certificate, nothing. And even her school years didn't add up. Students say they never heard of her. Records are missing, and there's zero trace of a young Brigitte. Which brings me to piece of evidence number 2, where things get even crazier. Candace found an old article from the 70s about Macron's father, talking about how he disappeared for a period of time, only to return looking different. And old family photos show Macron's father at the time, after he reemerged after being gone, to have strange resemblance of Brigitte, Macron's current wife. But at that time, he was presenting as a man. Basically, the theory is this. Macron's father legally and physically transitioned into Brigitte, and then later they fell in love with their own son and married him. And because they're so powerful, the entire story was just wiped clean until now. And Candace Owens is just getting savage. She's not holding back at all. Meanwhile, Macron's team is just scrambling to do damage control. Reports even claim that the French press has been warned not to even touch this story. Honestly, I don't even know what to do with this information. My brain is freaking melting, because if this is true, if this is even half true, this would be one of the biggest political cover-ups in history.
I don't know if it's the biggest political cover-up. I mean, we've got lots of stuff going on in the United States. It's probably the top 5 for sure.
Top 5, top 10. Aaron, your thoughts on this very hairy situation?
It's not the first situation. We got Big Mike. We got Obama, different name. We got all these different people, like Trudeau is not who he says. All these people, we think that they're, just family people or conservative. They have fake families, fake spouses, fake kids. We don't even know if this airplane is a fake AI crashed basically.
All gross.
So many things. Just what's going upside down is right side up, and what's left is right. It's really hard to process. We got to question everything. Just question everything.
Yes, we do. We have Rebel Mama who says Candace Owens. She says Candace Owens blew this out of the water. Maybe we should change our words on that one. Thank you, Rebel.
She blew this out of the water. Yeah.
No, not you. Okay. Final thoughts, Aaron. Here we go. God save me, I'm dying. I'm not going to make it to the end. Give me a paper bag, will you? Final thoughts, Aaron. Please blow it out the water. Here we go.
Like I said, everything we got to question. I think that with the plane incident, I think there's a narrative that's being played. And, the media is trying to tell us all these different things, and it's up to us to kind of dissect it and question everything. I mean, I'm going to be looking into finding out about all those actors, crisis actors, for an incident 1 month ago. So I'm going to be starting looking for several sources on that. But, they are trying to, get us fearful. They don't want us flying or traveling different places. They wanted to shut us down with lockdowns before and mask us up. So they're always trying to play us. And it's up to us as digital soldiers and, Real Deal Media to try and dissect it and get to the truth of things. And like I said, we got to question everything. But things are really weird. People who we think are the president of France are married to their fathers, apparently, or their trans fathers. So, I mean, this is just getting out of hand. But continue shining the light on these people. How do you get rid of darkness? You shine a little light on it and continue lighting it up, Dean. That's my advice to people. So thanks for joining, guys.
Gosh. Yes. Final thoughts here. I second everything Aaron said, but tomorrow night we will be watching the Star Whackers tomorrow night. You don't want to miss that. Followed by Friday will be a members only show into the weekend. We'll do a lot of member stuff this weekend with our members starting Friday, but tomorrow night, don't want to miss Star Whackers.
Yeah, looks good.
On that yes. We also want to follow up and see what Patrick King's doing. You know what? Let's get him back on Real Deal Media.
I was thinking that, Dean. I'm going to try and reach out. There's a couple of guys that I know in Ottawa that might be able to reach out.
Yeah, let's reconnect with Patrick and make amends.
It's never good to have burnt bridges.
Yeah,
it's always good to smooth it over.
It's also never good to read Aaron's mind, because if you saw what I'm seeing, it's anyways. Yeah. Thanks. Thank you to all the viewers. You make this all worthwhile. Each and every one of you, each and every night. So for Aaron Cage, for Patrick King, who we'll get back on, and Leo, thanks for calling in. For all of them, I'm Dean Ryan. So thank you for sharing a bit of your night. Until the next time, always remember to stay tuned and stay awake. Good night.
Some people call me the space cowboy. Some call me the gangster love. Some people call me Maurice. As I speak of the prophetess of love. People talk about me, baby. Baby, I should show you a good time. 'Cause I'm a thinker, I'm a grinner, I'm a lover, and I'm a sinner. Play my music in the sun. I'm a joker, I'm a smoker, I'm a midnight toker. I sure don't want to hurt no one. I'm a grinner, I'm a lover, and I'm a sinner. I play my music in the sun. And I'm a joker, I'm a smoker, I'm a midnight toker. love.